another segment of 120 Seconds. As always, I am Stockwell, and I am here with the legendary R.O.C. Astronomicon 8 is where we are currently. Almost always to start my 120-second artist interviews, I have an artist say who he is to a crowd that's never heard of him in roughly 120 seconds. But when I have a legend, I don't do that, so we're obviously skipping that. R.O.C. is an absolute fucking legend, so we're not doing that. What I want to do is I'm going to take essentially the lyrics to I'm Here and use that as the basis for the interview.
Nice.
Okay?
Yes.
So, day one, Big Father High Top in the R.O.C. So, Big Father High Top, a.k.a. Evil, correct?
Correct.
And he's related to you.
It's my cousin.
Your cousin. Okay,
my
right.
cousin. Yep.
All right. So, entirely produced by Isham, that project. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
Not correct. Isham did the one song on the project called Rolling with Strength.
Okay, right.
He did that
So
song.
when you, okay.
He produced that.
Okay.
So all the other tracks were me and my cousin.
Okay.
Evil.
So that promo that from back then.
It was just
that
that
produced
song.
by Isham. It was just for that track.
Just for that track.
Gotcha. Because Rolling with Strength was,
yeah.
that was the name of the project too, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Rolling with
okay.
Strength.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I don't have this one written down. When I was at Hot Hits, probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a Rolling with Strength like CD, like a thin jewel CD pressed up. Was that bootleg shit?
Bootleg.
That's okay. I thought so.
1000%. We never did.
Alex Abbas.
Alex.
All right. So, obviously with Isham being who he was, even at that time, to do the Rolling with Strength, right? Like that was after Boom and Words, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So, again, kind of using Isham for production, but not necessarily following the route that he was. And I'm going to get to the point here. Because in reality, that project is more of a, if I were to compare it to something, it's more like the world-class Wrecking Crew, right?
Yes.
Like a dance club hits.
1000%.
Okay, all right.
1000%.
Okay.
And that's kind of where my focus was. It was more, I would say, to follow in, there was more Dr. Dre.
Right. But like the
world-class
Dre.
Wrecking
Yeah,
Crew.
exactly.
Yes,
right.
it was more, kind of dancey stuff. Because, Isham had his lane.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to quite take his lane. So that's why, the album wasn't like that booming much. But it was a little bit. You got a little bit from him.
Correct.
But then, you get a little bit from Dr. Dre and then stuff like that. So, yeah, it's kind of that collage of stuff, I would say.
Right, right. And that is the World Class Wrecking Crew is for the over 40 club.
Yes.
If you're younger than 40,
yes, you probably
Google
will. Yeah, Google.
Yeah.
Is your friend.
All right. So that, my question kind of, like you said, you weren't obviously focused on Wicked shit pretty much at all.
Mm-mm.
And so that will kind of lead to the next part. So day 2, right, brought the heat with Howse of Crazies. You go listen, I might link the song I'm Here below this so that you guys understand this. So, all right. I feel like at this point, HOK has kind of been beat to death as far as everybody kind of knows the goods and the bads about the stuff.
Yes.
Okay, we can just skip all that, right?
Yep.
Okay, but I will just ask, what made you go the Wicked shit route that time?
I think that the way we were, I don't know, it's just the way me kind of, when I got with Madrox Monoxide, and we just we actually had a group called Legion of Boom.
Right.
That was before.
Right.
So we were kind of doing that, and that wasn't going to be Wicked shit.
Okay, so that was like LL Cool J
That was
stuff?
before. Yeah, it was going to be kind of more along those lines. More kind of hip-hop, hardcore rap hip-hop.
Right.
But when I got with both of them, I don't know, we just kind of all decided, let's try this, let's go this route,
Okay.
Because everybody else, a lot of the other people that we knew who rapped and things like that, weren't going that route either. It was just really just kind of Isham.
Right.
And then, you had
Mastermind, right?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So a lot of other people really weren't going that route. So we were like, people aren't going that route. Let's go the route people ain't going. So that's kind of why we shifted that away.
Okay. Which again is funny in hindsight because now it's 100% the opposite.
Right? I know.
Right? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's fair to say you took the helm for production, obviously at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the original talks were that, originally maybe you were just going to produce there for a little while.
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually just going to produce because it really wasn't. It was still kind of me and my cousin, kind of doing our thing a smidge.
With the Big Father High Top.
With the Big Father High Top.
Okay.
Yep. my cousin Big Father High Top, in case y'all don't know, is Evil.
Right.
It's my cousin Evil. But we were still gonna kind of do some stuff, so I was just gonna kind of do some production for them. But we decided, you know what? Fuck it.
You're in.
I'm
Okay.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was very sample based, both musically and like from movies and other songs and etc.
Yeah.
So it for me, I would say that's the classic HOK sound,
Yeah.
which one would argue is also the classic Isham sound.
Yes.
Right. But
Mm-hmm.
so my question kind of is that why was that maybe abandoned for like the newer HOK material? Is it just because it's harder to clear samples and stuff like that?
That part.
Okay.
That part.
I mean,
now HOK is bigger than what it's, so now it's
Okay,
more wide, so that's why.
Again, I did assume that, but
You know,
but,
yes.
but yeah, because it's
You
harder to
assumed
clear
right.
shit. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
back then you weren't clearing shit.
Yeah,
right,
you
right.
it was like, yeah,
Right.
do it.
Which is why you can't find HOK on like Spotify and
yes,
stuff.
because we
right.
can't. So yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. As far as you know, the new recent resurgence of HOK.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting it stupidly, but I'm going to elaborate. How do you feel, or how is it playing music that you made literally 31 years ago?
It's weird. It really is. It's kind of like, it's almost like full circle kind of thing for me, because it's when you start out doing it, you know, you're never thinking that 30 years later. You just don't think that 30 years later you're gonna still be doing it. You're gonna do it again.
I know.
So it's kind of like like, wow, we're back to doing actual House of Crazies again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah, man, pretty neat. It is. I really like even enjoy doing the project, because we're all in different headspaces now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from when we were younger.
Yeah, 19.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're in different headspaces, different places. So it's just it's so different now. It really is. It's so different now.
Okay, so, so I want to know, audience, you, whatever. So I saw HOK open for my very first ICP show in 1997.
Okay.
I didn't know at that time that other people were doing it. Right?
Right.
Just like what you were just talking
Right.
about. Like,
Right.
I kind of had stumbled on the ICP, a couple albums.
Mm-hmm.
I went to base train for the Army. That was the summer that Malenko blew up.
Right.
I came home a few days later, drove myself, 17 years old, drove to Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
to go House of Blues Chicago,
Okay.
which was,
Okay.
which
That's
I'm not
where we
mistaken,
were.
is
Yeah,
one of the
House of
last
Blues.
shows you guys ended up doing
I think
on that tour.
yes. I think, was it House? Yeah, it might have been a House. No, it was actually. Damn it! What's the place? Detroit on Woodward. The Fillmore.
Oh, that
It
was the
was the
last.
state.
Oh,
That was
so that's what it was.
actually
You
the
made
last
it
show.
home. That's right.
Yeah, we made it
I
home.
forgot that. I forgot
and
that.
then
Yeah.
we stopped.
Yeah, I was trying to skip that part of the story.
Mhm.
All right, so so I saw you in 1997. I flew to Boston to
Okay.
Worcester in 04
Okay.
to the Fright Fest, specifically because you were doing
Oh
an
yeah,
HOK
we
set.
did the HOK set.
Yep,
we
and
sure did.
and then small sets, the little mini sets you guys have done at Fright Fest
Yeah.
off and on,
Mhm.
and then I was at St. Andrews this year for the full set
Yes.
again.
Yes.
I just wanted that was amazing,
Thank you.
and I loved embracing the nostalgia of it.
Yes.
And I just wanted to, I don't want to say this. I want it to be known that I hope that you guys are also embracing the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of getting the vibe
Yes.
that maybe you're up there feeling like I'm playing shit I made 30 years
Because
ago.
because again we're so much in different headspaces. So for us to be playing shit from like 30 years ago and people are vibing out to it. Even this guy I know that I work with, he was actually the sound man that night.
Okay.
He was doing sound at Shelter that
Okay.
night, and he was telling me, he was like, B, I ain't into y'all shit. I don't, never really into that type of shit, man. But that shit was banging, man. Y'all made that shit 30 years ago. I said, yeah, man, it was 30 years ago. He was like, man, that shit is speed. That was real. I like that. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just, again, you're like, it was 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
People like this stuff. That's just soak again. Yeah.
So again,
you're soaking it in.
For those at home, Scotty D is behind the camera. Scotty D was.
Come on, turn it around so I can see you, Scotty.
Scotty D was with me at the show, and he could probably make fun of me at the amount of time I turned around to him and was like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Like, call it what you want. Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know. I specifically remember when it was "Call It What You Want,"
telling
and it was specifically the "Call It What You Want" from Remix.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
we did. I did happen to mention to him to tell George,
Yes.
like, if there's a live HOK track that I hadn't seen, I want it to be that one.
Yeah.
Like, of course you're gonna play Haunted House. Of course you're gonna play
right.
But it was like that. Call it what you want. Yep, do it.
And again, think about what you're saying. Oh yeah, man. Call it what you want. And that was so long. I know.
I was 17.
Ain't that fucking amazing?
Right. No, I know.
It's so amazing.
Right.
It really is.
So,
for us.
all right. Well,
we embrace that.
Right,
we do.
Right.
We
so
love it.
I just hope that the other people in the group feel the same way, because I hope that they
love
do.
it.
All right. Day 3, the house. Okay. What's the actual?
The house was my day 3, and it wasn't. Of course, Twisted day 3.
No. I'm using that on here.
Yeah.
Day 1, we found the house. Right. Day 2, about the House Crazies.
House of
day
Crazies. Day 3, the house.
The
house was me, a guy by the name of Beast, Armageddon, and actually Miss Corona.
Right.
It was us. We called ourselves kind of the house. And that was it was kind of one of those projects for me on my way out the door from
Latinum, yeah.
Yes, from Latinum.
Right.
It was kind of that was that the last project, or did I do?
No,
did I do Halfbreed afterwards?
You did Stone Scraps HOK.
Yes, that was my last one. Yes, we did.
Don't test me.
Right. That was the house. Yeah, and we did the house because I was saying, no, I know that those guys are gone, but we need to really do. We gotta do another. We gotta do Brian. We need to stick with it. I said, no, man. We need to. We gotta do something new.
Okay.
So instead of the new project, because I figured I'd get another group instead of it just being me solo. Let me get another group. Knew those guys. Okay, cool. Plug them in, and then it became the house. Instead of the House of Crazies, I convinced him, put money into this, the house thing. And we just cut the Crazies part.
Right.
So then that popped up.
So the House, Easy Promatum is the album. Listen, Juggalos, if you're unfamiliar with that album, which is it's very probable that you are. Yes. It is unique, but it's really good. I'm just going to, all right, so Black Widow, a.k.a. Miss Corona, she's in 8 Mile. She's a Detroit staple. She's been big in Detroit for 30 years, right? Mr. Vitology, Canadian dude, right?
Actually, no. Mr. Vito is from here. Vitology's from Detroit. Okay. Yeah, he's Detroit born.
But production side.
Jesus.
So he did all the house production?
He did all the house production. Okay. I think I did maybe one song. I think the one I did solo. Okay. The solo one that's on. I forgot what it is. But
me too. Okay.
Yeah, but he did the majority, And
then I'll touch on the Beast, but was it Mr. Armageddon or was it Armageddon?
Armageddon.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Who was that? I don't.
I know, and it's like I haven't talked to any of those guys in oh my god forever. But he was just another one of those just kind of people that I kind of knew that he was there. I think he was from. Was he from West Side? I forgot where West Side or East Side of Detroit, but just somebody else that I knew that could spit. Yeah. And was like, man, hey, okay, cool. And so
Right. And then the Beast.
Yeah, Beast.
Well, he was also in I'm drawing a blank. The Indigenous Tribe.
Yes, he was
again, Indigenous Tribe. You can Google that. Juggalos. Eminem was part of Indigenous Tribe technically at one point. They've had like 15 members. I'm exaggerating, but a lot. But Beast was in probably after Eminem exited.
After. Yeah.
But and then he resurfaced with Lavelle, and you was at
he did some stuff.
What was that? What was that on?
He did. I want to say it was something because it was. I know he did some other stuff. I forget what it is.
But I just remember not hearing the Beast name for I don't know.
Yeah.
Not 20 years, but like 10.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like Lavelle and maybe Prozac. I'm kind of drawing a blank, but. So that was my. It was kind of like here's this weird assembly of people.
It was, and it was so weird. There was another guy too. He was going to do some stuff with us afterwards if the thing kept going. but it didn't keep going. But there would have been somebody else.
Right. So
I never heard.
Right. So my last question was: you ever talk to those people?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to any of them in forever. Miss Corona, because she's been to work to the job to do stuff with different people and different things
like
that.
She
so her, I thought
she still
right?
does
stuff.
I thought so.
So her, I bump into every now and then, but these Tomageddon, no. Haven't talked to them guys in forever. It's been a while.
Miss Corona and 8 Mile, she's in the parking lot scene where they're battling in the parking lot.
Her an exhibit, actually.
Is that who else it was?
Yep, her an exhibit.
So how dorky am I that I didn't realize exhibit was the other person in that scene? Yep. All right, so day 4, Halfbreed. But I'm gonna start by saying that this era also includes HOK Part 2.
Yes.
And I hope you don't take offense to me saying HOK Part 2. It has long been my belief that had you and Twisted stayed working together at that time, that they would have not created Most Tasteless, and you would have not created Night They Came Home. And I consider those 2 of my favorite albums of all time.
And I totally agree. And I like, for me, the Night They Came Home, I always tell people that, like, it should have never existed. But there's that part of me that's kind of glad that it did. Yeah. Because it spawned something, really, really, really cool. And then for, Twisted doing the Most Tasteless thing, and it just spawned some cool stuff.
Right.
Coming
and I know that, like, y'all are getting along and things were ugly, but in hindsight, I'm hopeful that you all can, like, realize the amazing shit you did at that time.
And it does.
Okay.
It does. And
again, part of me, just as a fan, because ultimately that's what I am, right? It is like, I'm hopeful that maybe at that time, Jamie and Paul were listening to that, even if they're angry and bitter, and maybe you were listening to Most Tasteless, and maybe you guys were both.
Here's the kicker: I didn't listen to Most Tasteless until probably 3 years or so after it was out. I wouldn't listen to anything.
I get it.
I wouldn't listen to anything Twisted did. I wouldn't. I was like, nope, and not because, for the reasons people might think, because they probably. It's not because of that. For me, that whole episode of my life, it crushed me. Yeah. I was more, it's like I wasn't really angry. I was just like so hurt because for me, Jamie and Paul were so much more deeper than just the music. I let it could all fall apart. I don't give a shit. Those are my people. So for me, it was so much more than just, they're out doing Most Tasteless, they're out doing stuff like that. It was just so much deeper. So for me to listen, it was just like, I just didn't want to because it just hurt. I was like, man, those are my people, and my people aren't here. And here I am doing Howse crazy stuff, and my people aren't here. None of this makes sense. It just didn't, none of it made sense to me.
Okay.
None of it.
Okay.
So yeah. But again, in hindsight, yes.
Yeah,
in hindsight, you're like, yeah. Really cool. You guys did Most Tasteless. Me and Scrap did this and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's cool, But you're like, fuck.
No, I know. And I have personal stories from that era too. But so I am glad that was resolved.
Me too.
Again, as a fan, when you were back into the fray, I was excited. I still am excited. It makes me happy still.
And the good part about it too, being back into the fray because I got a call from Ricker, actually. Ricker actually called. I remember the day. This is before, I want to say, because they were doing Magic Records at the time.
Right.
And I got the call from Ricker, blah, 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 and, Twisted, they like to, talk to you and stuff like that if you'd be down to come out to their warehouse. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, absolutely, sure, yeah. And then it's like when you go and when I went and, you see them and then they see me, it's weird because it's like, not weird. It's weird because it wasn't weird. That's how dude. It's like they were on vacation.
Right, like you're saying.
And it's like I was on vacation. Hey, listen. And it was there was no bumps to get back there.
I see. I could have. I could see how that could have been uncomfortable.
Yes,
but you're saying it wasn't.
Yes, and it wasn't. Because those are my people. So everything just kind of when we kind of everything just like that motherfucker never left nowhere. Yeah, I never leave nowhere. I was just over here for a second, and y'all were over there for a second, and shit, hey, what's up? It just, everything just meshed so well.
All right,
so it was so cool.
Getting a little bit ahead with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm trying to focus on positive shit because it does make me happy as a fan.
Yes,
so,
man. Yes.
Every time you and I talk, which is, semi-regularly, I pretty much ask you every time if you talk to Scraps.
No,
and I heard you earlier today. I know you said,
yeah. I gotta try to hunt him down, man. I don't know how I could. Yeah, I know. I gotta hunt Scraps down. I don't have a good number at all. Yeah. I don't have anything. So, all right. So I was a member of the Halfbreed street team called the Plague. We're talking, I think I was 1999, give or take. I remember when you guys first left Latinum because Scraps told me, and he said you were going to be called Livewire. That's how far back I go. Okay.
So I am glad that y'all did not pick that name.
know.
Because at the time when I was young, I wasn't being like, man, Livewire? For real? That's what you're going to do? No. I would now. So back then I was like, what the hell?
Like, damn.
Yeah. So to change the Halfbreed, smart move. But, and I was going to say, if you have talked to Scraps, is he interested in music at all? So, but you haven't talked to him.
I don't know.
Okay, that's a bummer. So, because obviously what, again, the man behind the camera and I are hoping for is a Halfbreed show that I can attend.
That would be awesome.
So I'm just again, Juggalos, I'm putting things into the ether here. Yes. All right, I'm just putting them out there.
Yes.
All right. There's no way Chuck would see this, but maybe he will.
Maybe.
Sorry. So when you started fucking with Twisted again, was it maybe Green Book tour or?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was before Green Book had dropped.
Right.
We started talking.
So you went out on the tour, and I saw you perform Chaos live. Oh, yeah. Now, as a Halfbreed mark at that time, I'm the only kid in the crowd marking out to a Halfbreed track because I was so excited. Right. It's one of my least favorite Halfbreed tracks, straight up. Right. Yeah. But I was like, oh my god, yes, that's a Halfbreed track. Yes. And then you got to fast forward like another 20 years, and you did Fuck Halloween.
Yes.
Last Halloween, the last Fright Fest, and then you did it again.
I think I did it again
here last year, right?
It? I think it might have been. Yeah.
So, right. Yeah. Okay. So, my request or my question is: any more plans to throw in kind of the Halfbreed or HOK Part 2 tracks into your live set? Specifically Feeling Dead.
Probably. Maybe not. It's just, I don't know. It all depends on my feeling. If I don't know. It just depends on my feeling. If I'm like, you know what? And when I say, like, if I put in Fuck Halloween, like, people always, like, some people used to take offense to that. Like,
I remember.
What do you mean Fuck Halloween?
I remember.
Oh, they're just doing that because, people love it. Oh, man, they're just doing that because Twisted. They're trying to say Fuck ICP or Fuck Twisted, and people would do it. And it's like, no. If you really would listen to the song is telling you.
Every day is Halloween.
Every day is Halloween.
Right.
Motherfucker. That's what we're saying. Every day is Halloween. We're not saying, no, every day. We're saying every single day is also that song or something like that. But it's always just depends on my feeling because sometimes I am like, you know what, fuck Halloween. I'm going to do Fuck Halloween. So, yeah, it could roll itself. Stuff could roll itself in.
Could you spit Feeling Dead right now if you were put on the spot?
Hell no. I don't even remember it. Only thing is the sometimes I'm feeling kind of dead.
Oh, wow, yeah. I know it better than you.
You probably do.
But there's a part of the second verse that I can't stay with you with.
What is it?
Something about. I'm gonna trip it up anyway. Where you say something about because I'm trying to win this win, and that you end with comatosis.
Okay.
I'd have to remember how it starts. I'd have to remember how it starts too.
Okay.
With you, Scotty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the middle 4 bars of the second verse. Anyway,
I might have to
Feeling
dig
Dead.
that out again.
Yeah,
man.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? After this, we're gonna listen to it.
I'm feeling kind of dead. Something.
Bloody red. Every day.
Yeah.
They
Crazy.
speak to me. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
My insides feeling nice and stiff. There it is. All right. We do every verse. All right. Day 5, Level Jumpers. Brought it in his own. Departure from the wicked shit. Admittedly, heartbreaking for me at the time. Just gonna be dead honest. But again, I talked with Scraps and Creatine on a pretty regular basis back then.
Right.
And he was just like, yeah, just come along with this, man. Come along with this, man. And, and I know that he had kind of done something similar with the Two Crazy Devils thing where he was doing wicked shit with Blaze and then was like, man, I'd rather focus on hip hop. Is that kind of the same thing that happened there?
It's kind of the same thing because I was such, hip hop head
Mhm.
for starting out music, and it was never really my, intent to do, the wicked shit. Like I wanted to, like literally, I wanted to change, and this is part of the reason too why Twisted had to get away from me and evolve, because like I wanted to turn HOK not into a hip hop act, but I wanted it to be more roller coastery. I always call it roller coastery because I didn't want it to be just specifically this. I wanted it to be this, which leads me into telling you, like, my new album is actually called No Direction. And it is probably not wicked. It's not. I'm going to tell you now. It's just because, again, it's no direction. It's just all over the place. Because, again, it's just so me. I'm never like, even if people take the visuals out of Digital Voodoo, and you listen to Digital Voodoo, a lot of that stuff on there, man, stuff with trick, and connive and things. It's not like Wick. It's just because I'm always all over the place. Mm-hmm. I am.
No, so yeah. No, I would. I mean, again, like even with HOK, right? Like the Season of Pumpkin and the albums previous to that were very much like horror movie.
Yeah.
And then like Outbreed.
There you go.
Right, like
and that's more me.
Right, so
it's a lot of me trying to like, hey, let's try this, guys. Hey, let's try. And a lot of it was me. But for them. I know their sound, Twisted, they wanted to be, and which is, man, again, when people see the paths and things like that, like, you can't be mad at it, you gotta be amazed. It's so awesome that things went the way they went. Mm-hmm. It's so cool. And again, that we're here 30-some years later, still Astronomicon's now doing interviews, little shows here and there, still putting out music, and it's just like, I love it. The paths. Would I change things? Absolutely. I change some stuff, but then you fuck up the flow.
No, again.
So it's like it's
again, it's the same. My daughters are my wife. We are who we are because of things we've done.
Man.
Good, better, and different. So yeah. All right. So, but obviously you went straight hip hop there.
Yes,
you brought in FR, Freeze,
and
went straight hip hop.
My little brother
so again, kind of held my nose buying Simply Complex, knowing that you had shifted gears.
Yes.
I still really like it. And then Red Pyramid is leaps and bounds better, in my opinion.
Yes, Red Pyramid.
Yeah, I mean, that one is bonkers. The production is ridiculous.
Yes,
so again, Juggalos, if you're unfamiliar, Level Jumpers, it's not wicked shit as hip hop, but it's still the two guys that were House of Crazies prior to that, with another dude that ended up going by Dial Tone after that. Again, kind of disappeared off the planet after that.
He's still actually active.
Okay.
He's still very active.
Is he Dial Tone still at this point?
I forget what his name is. I have to look on Instagram, but he is like still super active.
Doing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Blair's is he does. He's all like vinyl and doing shows and DJing a lot. Yeah, man. He's super active.
This is like 2000 probably, where first hearing Mr. Freeze, and everyone in my circle was like, he sounds like Eminem. Sounds like Eminem.
Yeah, he sounds like
Eminem. Yeah. So anyway, day 6, Brian Jones sitting all alone.
Right.
And I, didn't last long, to be honest.
It didn't.
But let's talk about bits and pieces. I'm Here and Oh Hell No. Specifically, I want to focus on I'm Here and Oh Hell No, because it's going to lead me into my next thing. So you release I'm Here, it's 4 tracks on an EP.
Right.
And then a couple carried over to Oh Hell No, like just straight up, no change.
Yep.
A couple were remixed or extended.
Yep.
In the similar vein, where you did the fucking Prelude EP before Digital Voodoo. So you had the Charmer, which was slightly different, both musically and a little bit lyric change minimally. Best Be Aware versus Still Running.
Still Running.
Right? And what's Murderous and the one with Lex. Yeah. I'm drawing a blank on the name, I'm sorry. So all I'm trying to say is that I've always been really impressed with your music, period. But when you were making like the same or similar tracks and carrying them over from one project to the next, but making a big enough change to make it a different track, or changing the hook, or changing the beat, or adding a guest. So can you walk me through your process there?
going through like that process of, taking a track and changing it and then trying to do this and trying to do that is, in all honesty, me not fully committing myself to being a solo artist. Because for me, from day one, it was never just about me. So I always had trouble going from one project to another. That's why there's not a lot of my projects.
Right.
Because it's me by myself, so I don't know what the fuck to do. Where the fuck is Jamie? Where's Paul? Where's Scraps? Where's Freeze? Where's my brother YUG? Where's this person? Because I don't know. I like it better. I just love the collabs of a group, and just me by myself was just always so odd and weird to me. Yeah, it worked sometimes, but yeah. So that's why those songs, some of the stuff, I'm just like, well, I guess I could take this and remix that and maybe put another person on this and fast forward that to that instead of actually doing something brand fucking new and releasing a whole new album and a whole new project to push the R.O.C. as a solo artist further, So that's kind of was always my thought process in that. I was just I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Okay, I'm going to take this and then I'll just try to remix this a little bit and then I'll probably put it on an EP or I'll put this on it, So that's kind of what that was. Which sucked for fans because it's like, fuck, dude, we didn't get enough from you. There's that part of me that does regret not having, the balls of like a fucking solo artist like LL Cool J or the balls of an artist like fucking, Tech Nine that I can be solo. I don't need no group. I just never was that guy. I was always man, this is me and my boys. Mm-hmm. It was always, this is me and my people. It was never really me. And sometimes that is that part of me I do kind of regret a smidge. Instead of being like, hey, we understand that. What about you? Mm-hmm. Get you.
And you are kind of a studio rat, right?
So I am that too.
So you just so do you have like, 8 million half finished songs?
I do. I got so many different songs and unfinished material and things like that just sitting, and it's like, and I'm like, yeah, no one cares. Everybody, yeah, let's just work on this House of Crazies project. Let's work on whatever project, So, but that is, I'm gonna try to start, because I got Shank on my ass a lot, and try to really start buckling down. So it might be like a whole slew of fucking music coming from me. People are like, holy shit, dude, slow down. Because I got so much stuff.
Yeah, well, this is not on the thing, but like you kind of released a slew of singles over a stretch there.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time I was like, why didn't you just combine them and make a thing? And you were just like, whatever.
I don't know. That's it, true.
That bounce back track, right?
Bounce
oh my God.
Yeah,
that one is stellar.
Back. Thank you.
All right. So fast forward a bit to the present day and time. That's again the next lyric. We're fast forwarding more than a bit, right? Because when you wrote that was almost 20 years ago, right? So since then, you've also done Zodiac Mprint with Blaze.
Yes.
And again, my knock to both you and Blaze, and I've told you both to your face, and we were just talking on it. Neither of you release enough music, right? Some people put out way too much.
I know.
And you and him both are.
I know.
Yeah, right. So I would just put it again into the ether.
Yes.
A Zodiac Mprint. I mean, you thinking about it?
Actually, we had already did like a group of songs that we got there just kind of chilling. Will it ever see the light of day? I don't know. It may, it may not. It may, probably, likely, maybe sometime in the future. But that's the focus. Like you said, us releasing music. So that's why we were working on Zodiac. And then it got to the point where we're like, no, you need to focus on you and release Chris. So Blaze had to focus on doing a Blaze project. B, you need to focus on you and do them. Okay. So they, we just kind of stopped working on Zodiac and started working on our solo projects. But I'm assuming, it'll see the light of day again, Yeah.
All right. So I was going to finish out with what's next for R.O.C, but you already talked about the new album.
Yes.
Called
No Direction.
No Direction.
Yes.
Any idea on release date at all?
No release date or anything. Right now, the album, I just got my last feature back. So that's
And that was from?
that's done.
No, it's fishing.
Right. So my last feature I just got back. So that's done. The mixing process will start in the next couple of weeks because we're busy kind of doing all kind of other crap. So the mixing process. Actually, I've already started the mixing process. I kind of started the nuts and bolts of it. So the nuts and bolts of the mixing process is already in motion. And we're going to do all the little finishing touches in the next couple weeks. And then I'm going to start shooting visuals for it, a couple videos, stuff like that. Then, of course, nowadays you got to do all your social medias and your TikToks and your, so I'm going to try to do the whole campaign type thing, man. Yeah, man. I'm really excited about it. I'm like, I'm excited about it. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it. I just don't know. I just hope people are gonna flip it. It's gonna be fun.
I'm for it. All right, and then so we already went longer than I like to, but I just want to throw one last thing out here. One of the best songs, in my opinion, to come out in the last 5 years, and I'm talking about period, is "Devil May Cry," which is a song on Class's album, Revenge. And full disclosure, Class, Nick is a very close personal friend of mine. And so a part of what I'm doing is promoting my friend for sure. But putting that aside, it's Nick, Class with Kung Fu Vampire and the R.O.C. And I consider that for real one of the best tracks of the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I really do.
That was really fun doing that.
Share your thoughts for that track.
That was really, really awesome. And of course, when you get a track from dudes like that, it's like, God damn, I got a rap on it. Yeah, mother, you got a rap. So it's kind of one of them. You got a rap. So it's like, okay, which it was such a dope song. Such a dope song, man. It really is. Such a dope song. It was so awesome doing it. And again, I like the people. It's like, R.O.C.
in Class, yeah.
That's different.
It is. Right.
It's something different.
Right.
Mix the shit up, guys. Come on. I like that.
No, again, and you've been doing that since forever. Again, Digital Voodoo with, like you said, Trick and Kaniva. And then you did the
the Rugged Man.
And we did Mastermind and Eshan.
Mastermind and Eshan.
So it was like two classic, like legendary Detroit tracks.
Yeah.
That don't sound the same at all, right? But they're both Detroit. Right. Like,
there you go. Something different. Mix it up for people. Even though people may not like it, and a lot of people may like it. Still mix it up.
That's why he doesn't release music. He doesn't release music for the same reason I don't make these videos enough because he's like,
It's like,
when people don't like it, it's heartbreaking, right?
But it's like, you gotta do it. It's
right.
Part of it, part of the journey.
Because again, as a fan, I'm like, man, fuck those people. I love your shit. So
I like it.
Yeah. So I don't know how long we went there. Longer than I probably ever do.
Yes.
R.O.C. Look, man, it's saw him on stage in 1997, and then started a whole journey of me into the wicked shit outside of ICP. He's a big reason for that, and obviously he's a big reason for why we're here this weekend and the entire and the wicked shit, the Juggalo scene, whatever terminology you like to use. He's been a huge part of it, and I'm glad he took the time to sit down with me tonight and speak about it. So, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, until next time.
They gon' love us for life.
Yeah, I don't go there.
Right.
I don't fuck with them anymore. I used to like them, but I don't fuck with them.